In today's video, the journey from going from here to here, or from here to here. It's paved with a lot of challenges. I want to help you guys reach your goals, and today I'm going to answer your question on how to finally get the physique that you're after. Hey guys, what's going on? This is Paul Ravella from ProPhysique.com. In today's video, I got a great question from my Instagram direct message. We're going to get right into it, and I'm going to break down exactly how we can help you get to your goal physique. I'm 34, 5'10", and currently 192 pounds. Been working out since high school, mostly bodybuilding style. I work an office job. In my late 20s, I put on some weight and I was up to 218 pounds. 15 months ago, I decided to change. Workouts were high intensity compared to my old bro spritz. At my lowest, I was 180, but I've put back on 10 to 12 pounds in the last 3 or 4 months. I'm having a hard time getting and staying where I want. I eat clean, but I think on the diet side, due to portion control, I'm having issues. Would your coaching help me get down to where I want? I'm roughly 12 to 15% body fat, but I would like to cut more and figure out a plan to stay more lean year round. Well, this is exactly what I do. So let's talk about the issue of reaching that goal. There's a few major factors that come into play. One is the idea of nutrition. Now, you said something key to me there. You said, I've been eating cleaner. The problem with eating cleaner is it's not directly accountable. If you go from someone that eats out multiple times per week to almost daily, or you tend to order high-fat fried foods, you drink regular soda with sugar in it, it's easy to make a switch and go, you know what, I'm just gonna cut out a little bit of sugar, I'm gonna stop eating out as much, I'm gonna start preparing my own foods, and I'm gonna maybe eat less fried foods, right? So you're getting less calorie-dense things, you're pulling out calories because you switch. I mean, an easy one is some people just switch from soda to diet soda, hundreds of calories a day, right? And so you see these big changes. However, what happens when those changes don't work? Because although you're eating cleaner, you might not actually understand how many calories you're actually taking in versus how many calories that you should be taking in to lose weight. Also, if you've made this change and you're not losing weight or you're gaining, you're now at maintenance, even though you're eating clean. Some people think that eating clean is a solution for everything. It's certainly a great place to start. And that's why I've created a few things. First of all, we have our next 8-week challenge. It's called the Summer Sculpt, where we provide dozens and dozens of meal plans and training plans as templates for you. Based on the calories that you need, we give you meal plans, okay? Now, it is $50 to enter this, but we do give away $25,000 in prizes. And some of the people that I showed you at the beginning of this video are people that entered a challenge. Now, if you want coaching, one-on-one coaching, that's what I do. I'm literally going to talk to you weekly for updates, as many questions as you need to answer. I'll put a link for that below if you're looking for coaching. Not everybody is there, but I'll tell you one of the real values that I see in an approach like yours. We're pretty consistent, right? So once you learn some good habits, once you learn how to be accountable to your calories and your macros, depending on your goals, once you learn to start to repeat some things, once you got a good set of meals to choose from, it becomes like cruise control. The hard part is getting there, okay? And there's a couple reasons why. You say you just want to lose some weight or get leaner, things tend to get in the way. There tend to be roadblocks if you haven't created a deadline, okay? So the people that I'm showing you, like here to here, the reason these changes happened in 90 days, that's right, 90 days these happened, is because of the deadline, because of the community, because of the focus on saying, okay, I'm going to make a change in my life at this time, and for this amount of time, whether it's 8 weeks, whether it's 90 days, that time I'm setting aside to focus on my goal. It's going to take priority over whatever it is that's preventing you from getting there. I'm not suggesting you can't be social, that you can't go out and have a couple drinks, that you can't do these things. But for a lot of people, that is the tipping point, okay? They'll be great Monday through Friday. They'll hit their 2,000 calories in their cardio. The weekend comes, they're eating 4,000 calories, and they're basically spinning their wheels a little bit, right? They're finding ways to, over a 7-day period, be at maintenance, whereas for 4 or 5 days, maybe they're in a really good deficit and some things are happening. When you have the ability to tell people, you know what, like if you see these trophies back here, that's me doing bodybuilding shows. And what happens is I say, oh, I'm in prep, I'm getting on a stage on this date. I can't let things derail me because it's going to change the way I look. I'm a very competitive person by nature. I want to win when I compete in bodybuilding. And so I don't want anything in my way that's going to prevent me from winning. Now, the great thing about all this, and some people will approach me and say, but Paul, I've heard bodybuilding, or I've heard, competitions like this or transformation challenges like this, they're bad for you. I would highly disagree. Anything can be bad for anybody, right? It's all about how you approach them. What I have found is that learning methods to lose body fat, learning methods to be accountable to your nutrition, your daily training, allows you to apply that for the rest of your life. Once you understand these principles, you can then take them, and anytime you want to transform your physique, you understand that it's not about sugar. You don't have to cut out sugar. It's not about carbs. You don't have to cut out carbs. It's not about fat. You don't have to eat no fat or only fat or whatever approach. It's not about avoiding eating out. You can still eat out. It's not about avoiding alcohol. You can still have some alcohol. Really, what it comes down to is the consistency on a daily basis of, are you hitting what you're supposed to be hitting calorically speaking, and furthermore, macronutrient based, to ensure that you're able to build muscle and lose body fat, okay? Because that's what most of us want to do. That is going to set you up to be successful, okay? The approaches that I most frequently have the problem with are the ones that give the idea that there's only one way to do this. You've got to cut out sugar, right? You've got to avoid carbs. I mean, I eat hundreds of grams of sugar a day sometimes. That's right. Sugar is not a problem when your calories, your protein, your fiber is all in check, right? So it can be a part of your day. For some people, it might be a trigger. And for them, great, avoid sugar. Find what works best for you. But by no means is there one way that everyone has to do to be successful. You can find your rhythm with nutrition, but it all starts with being accountable, understanding some things. You mentioned portion control. One of the great things that I found when I'm dieting for a bodybuilding show is I pre-package my meals. I'll cook a bunch of meals for 3-4 days at a time, put them in the fridge. When I go to eat, I'm not guessing what I'm eating. I'm not waiting until I'm hungry to choose food. I go downstairs, I go to work, I get my meal, I heat it up, I eat it, I'm done. There's no thinking, there's no stress, okay? A lot of the problems that come down to being successful is the stress of it. I know just thinking about, oh my gosh, I have to diet, I have to pay attention to my portions. You don't have to pay attention to your portions if you plan ahead. If you buy prepackaged foods from there's companies out there like Icon Meals that will deliver them to you, or you can just dedicate a couple hours a week to go into the store, buying some food, cooking it, put it in the fridge, prepackage your meals, and that way you're eating without thinking. And man, I can tell you how much stress it takes off my plate when I don't have to focus on food. We spend a lot of time thinking about what we're going to eat, where we're going to eat. And it's weird when I'm dieting for a bodybuilding show, and a lot of people would say like, man, you're missing out on life. I actually feel like I get more time back, okay? Yes, I like to be social, but there's times in our lives where we don't really need to be that social. And so we can set up times in our lives where we want to focus on this thing. Also, you can be social. If you guys would like to see me do like a full day of eating while I'm staying lean, where I don't eat any prepped foods, and I'll show you how to do it, comment below if you'd like to see eating out in terms of how do you eat out and still make progress, okay? It's literally a mindset shift that I've learned over the years. Listen, I went out the other night to the best steakhouse in Charleston, South Carolina. It's called Hall's. If y'all haven't been there, highly recommend. I promise you, I wasn't tracking my macros. I was there to enjoy the food. Sometimes food is meant to be enjoyed. I had a, 16, 18 ounce ribeye. I don't know how many calories it was. I didn't track it. Sometimes there are periods where I want to just focus on the quality of the food. I want to enjoy the culture or the area where I'm at. Okay. It's not to say that you can't do that. There are times though where I would have just declined the offer to go out, or I would have just gone and got something very predictable, like maybe a chicken breast and a side salad, right? So I could go be social. I don't want people to think that there's this huge difference between someone that reaches their goals and someone doesn't. We don't have to sit at home like we live in a dungeon, avoid social contact. No, it's about creating a routine that allows us to get there. And that's why I love this next 8-week summer sculpt, because what we're going to do is we're going to provide you community support. We have lots of meal plans, lots of training plans. We have lots of options for you guys. Plus we have a deadline, right? So we're going to be providing the support. And if you want coaching, I'm happy to do that too. Like that's literally what I do. I don't really like to sell that on this channel. This channel is providing value for you guys to reach your goals. Some of you may not need a coach, and some of you may never want a coach. Some of you just want like some training and nutrition plans. That's what this is about. Trying to provide you guys with the tools to reach your goals. One of those tools, in my case, I was like you. I would never actually get the physique I wanted until one thing. I decided I was going to do a bodybuilding show, right? That changed everything for me because I started making that my priority. My priority was the gym, was my diet, was my cardio. I still did all these other things, but they came secondary to that primary focus. And for that 6 months when I did that first bodybuilding show, man, I nailed it. And when that show was over, guess what? I just went back to being a normal dude, right? The food was still there. The alcohol was still there. The social situations were still there. And what I found out was I enjoyed those situations and that time with my friends even more because I knew in the back of my mind, I could at any time do this thing. It also helped inspire a lot of people in my life to go after their goals and change some things. It also, for back a better word, it made me a better person because I learned time management. I learned to put myself first. I learned to say no when I wanted to do things and for the betterment of myself. So whatever your goal is, if it's really your goal, if you just want to lose 10 pounds, 15 pounds, if you want to reach 15%, 12%, 10% body fat, whatever it is, make it your priority for a little while. Just see how good you can be. And if you guys need information around where your nutrition should be, I have a free calculator, prophysiquemacros.com. It's going to give you some information. If you need some support, if you want to be a part of our challenge, go check out our challenges, prophysique.com/challenge. We have one starting here in just a couple weeks. You can get registered, you can get signed up, you can get all your information today. And if you want to speak to a coach, we can get you a coach. Hopefully this answers your question. And I'm going to see you guys tomorrow.